Today I'm going to be talking about the 3 worst diets, like literally the worst diets I've ever tried. I'm going to tell you why I tried them, why they did work short term but not long term. My main goal with this video is to teach you and educate you a little bit more about the 3 diets that I'm going to tell you, so you can learn and understand more about this, because I feel like we see so much information online. One side tells you one thing, the other side tells you something else, and it can feel very overwhelming when there's too much information and a lack of understanding. And that's why sometimes you try something, it works, and it doesn't work. You get confused, you get frustrated, and it becomes a complete mess, which is what happened to me when I started with my fitness journey. Okay, let's get started. I've got my notes right here. So if you see me looking to one side, it's just because I don't want to forget anything. But let's get started with number 1, which is the one that I think most of us have tried. It used to be very popular. It's still popular now, but not so much as before. And the first one, it's the keto diet. So if you don't know keto pretty much means you remove carbohydrates from your diet and you only eat protein and fats. So fats become your main source of energy as well as protein, and that's the way to help you lose body fat. So keto does work, okay? I'm not gonna say it doesn't, because it does work. But the main reason why keto works and why I tried it, it's because I wanted to see those results very, very fast. I was very impatient. I was desperate. I just wanted to try everything that I saw online, because I was like, yep, this looks like it works. It looks like many people have tried, so I want to try this. The reason why keto works, it's because when you remove carbohydrates, so a whole good food group from your diet, just quickly, there are 3 macronutrients: protein, fats, and carbs. So if you remove this macronutrient from your diet, you're left with only 2, right? Removing carbohydrates means that you're going to lose, well, your body is going to lose more water weight, because every time we eat carbohydrates such as rice, potatoes, bread, and things like that, your body holds onto water. This doesn't mean that you're gaining fat, but you do gain weight, because your body is a little bit more inflamed, a little bit more inflammation. You're retaining more water, nothing wrong with that. But that's why when you eat carbohydrates, you gain weight. The scale goes up, but it's not body fat, it's just weight, it's just inflammation. So when you remove those carbohydrates, what happens to your body? You lose water straight away, but you don't lose body fat. You only drop water weight. But because it feels like you are seeing results, numbers on the scale are going down, you look yourself in the mirror, you look better, you look less inflamed, less puffy around your abdomen, around your face, your arms, everywhere, then it feels like it works. And then you want to stay doing this for a very long period of time. Second reason why it does work, it's because when you remove an entire food group from your diet, you are reducing the calories that you consume throughout the day or in a whole day. Because if you remove carbohydrates, you're left with protein, fats, which means you're consuming fewer calories. Kind of like doing a calorie deficit. So calorie deficit is when we eat less calories to help us drop body fat. So you kind of go on a deficit by removing an entire food group. Remember, you're left with this and that, protein and fats, which is why you lose body fat. Now, why is this not sustainable long term? And why this diet didn't work for me, and I know it's probably not working for you long term. It doesn't work because as Latinas, if you're Latina, you understand exactly what I mean. We love carbohydrates. We eat rice every single day. Like, rice is such a staple meal in our diet. I'm from Peru, so we always have rice with everything. We love potatoes and rice together. We love bread. I remember growing up as you know, in Peru as a child. Bread every single day for breakfast, for your afternoon tea, nighttime, bread. It's such a staple. Pasta as well. We have so many delicious meals with pasta. So as Latinas, we cannot live without carbohydrates. It's part of our culture. It's part of who we are. So if we remove them completely, it might work for a little bit, but not long term. Emotionally, mentally, physically, it just doesn't work long term. It just doesn't work. And the more you deprive yourself, in this case, removing the carbohydrates, the more you go into this state of wanting that thing even more. Anytime there's deprivation, your brain, your mind wants that thing even more. If you remove carbohydrates from your diet, from your life, what does your mind wants? It wants that thing even more than ever before. So you start craving, then you start binging, then you start feeling guilty, and you get trapped on this cycle of doing keto for a few days, even a few weeks, then going back to including carbohydrates in your diet. And when you do include carbohydrates back in your diet, your body holds onto more water, you gain weight, not body fat, but you do gain weight on the scale, you feel frustrated, you feel disappointed, you get stuck in this loop, and it just doesn't work at all. So the main takeaways with the keto diet, remember, it's mainly about removing carbohydrates, so entire food group from your diet. It does work because you lose water weight and you're eating fewer calories, but it doesn't work long term, especially for us Latinas. We cannot live without carbohydrates. Plus, carbohydrates are needed for our body to have energy and also to help us build muscle, lose body fat, and get the results that we want. Okay, so that was the number one diet that I tried and that I do not recommend at all. Please don't try keto. Please don't do it. It just doesn't work, okay? Don't even waste your time doing something like this. Okay, second diet. And I know this is also a very, very popular one. And I know many of you ladies are still doing this diet until this day. I tried this, I'm not gonna say for a long period of time because for me, it just didn't work. I'd only try for a few weeks, I think maybe a month max, nothing crazy, nothing longer than that. And the second diet, or the second worst diet that I ever tried was fasting. So fasting, it's pretty much depriving yourself from eating from this hour until this time, or this hour until this hour, and you only have a very short window on the day or throughout the day to eat your food. For example, for me, I used to fast from, I think it was 8 p.m. I can't remember, 8 p.m. let's say until 12 p.m., 1 p.m. and I was only allowed to eat from 2 p.m. until 8 p.m. something like that. I can't remember the specific or the exact hours, but it was something like that. The reason why this diet works, it's because when you only have that very short window to eat your foods, you eat less calories, right? You eat less because even though you're hungry, you cannot eat that much because your tummy gets full very easy. And when you get to that point that you're full, you're just not able to eat more. You can, but it just feels a little bit yuck. So that's why it works. It's pretty much like going into a calorie deficit. You eat fewer calories, and if you eat fewer calories, your body is gonna drop more body fat. And that way you're gonna see the results that you want. And that's why you get excited. You think that it does work. You think that it makes you feel better. I've heard many people that say it makes me feel more energized every time I fast. I just feel better. I think it works for me. I think it's amazing. My opinion, it doesn't work long term, okay? Depriving yourself from food, it's not the answer to a sustainable fat loss journey or just to a happy and healthy life. Just imagine, especially socially as well, when you go out with friends, let's say your friends invite you to go out for breakfast. You really want to live a life that you tell them, sorry, I can't. I'm fasting until, let's say, 1 p.m. So I'm not able to have breakfast with you guys. I will come, but I won't eat anything. Or if someone else invites you for lunch and you're like, sorry, I'm fasting until 2 p.m. Just like imagine living that life. It's not sustainable. It just doesn't work long term. And also depriving yourself from food doesn't work. And that's why you reach a point that you stop losing body fat because your body goes into this state or this stage of deprivation. Your body starts thinking, okay, she's only giving me this many calories or this much food throughout the day. So I have to be very smart with the way that I use those calories, the way that I utilize that food to get that energy to be able to do all the functions that I need to do to keep me alive, breathing, digesting my food, my blood circulating, all of those things that our body does without us even thinking about it because it's just natural. Those things require energy. So when we start eating less, your body goes into that deprivation mode and then you get stuck. You don't lose any more body fat because your body holds onto those calories, holds onto that body fat. It's kind of like a reserve in case you need to use that energy. And that's why you get stuck. You don't lose body fat. Long term, you get frustrated, same as keto. It works for a little bit, it doesn't work long term. And then you get stuck into this loop of feeling annoyed, feeling frustrated, disappointed. And also, when you have a very short window of time to eat, let's just say 8 hours, 6 hours, or something like that. If you've been depriving yourself for hours and hours and hours with no food, when it's time to eat, you're gonna be so freaking hungry, especially if you have just completed your workout, or you had a busy day at work, or you had, I don't know, you were doing something, an activity that required a lot of energy. If you're tired and if you're hungry, by the time you are allowed to eat, even saying that sounds crazy, right? By the time you're allowed to eat, you're gonna be so hungry that you will want to eat a lot. You will want to eat everything that's in front of you. And you might reach that point that even if you're full, you want to eat more and more and more and more and more, because your mind and your body knows she only has X amount of hours to eat. So I have to make the most out of this time that I can, that I have this food available in front of me. And then after X time, let's say 8 p.m., I'm not able to eat anymore. So instead of going into caloric deficit, you start eating more, you start binging, which means you consume excess calories. And what happens? You start gaining body fat instead of losing body fat. And then you start wondering, what am I doing wrong? I'm fasting, I'm depriving myself, I should be losing weight, but it kind of plays against you instead of helping you lose body fat. So fasting, it's definitely not for me. I definitely don't suggest it at all. Deprivation, it's never the answer to a sustainable fat loss journey. And it's just not healthy, okay? It's not healthy at all. You don't get enough energy. Your body doesn't recover properly after you work out. So socially, it doesn't work. It's just a complete mess. Fasting, I don't suggest it at all. Okay, and then the diet number 3. Last but not least, a calorie deficit. And not just any calorie deficit, a very, very extreme calorie deficit. And I try a very extreme calorie deficit in 2 different stages in my life. One, when I first started with my fitness journey, I had no clue what I was doing. I just thought that the less I eat, the more I deprive myself from food, the more or the better results I'm gonna get. So that was one stage. Second stage, when I was doing my bodybuilding competitions, I'm gonna put some pictures in here so you guys can see. But the difference between the two is that one was done with the wrong intention or the wrong purpose of losing body fat. And the second stage, which was to help me get ready for my bodybuilding competition, it was done with purpose and with intention, because I was doing something specific for that specific sport. And I knew that it was gonna be for a short period of time. But even then, it backfired, which, okay, that's a completely different story. But yeah, those are the 2 times or stages where I try a very, very, very extreme calorie deficit. For my bodybuilding competition, I do remember 100%. I was eating around, I think 800, 900 calories per day. Just imagine eating this many calories throughout the day for about 3 or 4 weeks. Not 3 or 4 weeks, even longer. 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. Because it was 12 weeks before getting ready for a stage. Yeah, it was a complete mess. I'm gonna make a complete different video about my experience with bodybuilding. But the reason why those extreme diets or those extreme calorie deficits do work, it's because when you reduce the calories, your body starts losing body fat. But same as fasting, you get to a stage where your body gets stuck and you're not able to drop more body fat. And the reason why a calorie deficit doesn't work long term, one, because mentally it's very challenging. 2, physically it's also not healthy and it's challenging as well. You're constantly gonna feel tired. You're gonna be grumpy, you're gonna be annoyed because you're gonna be so hungry. Your energy levels are gonna be literally down here. You won't have energy to go to the gym. You won't have energy even to focus at work. You won't have energy just to do your daily day-to-day thing, activities, wash your clothes, take a shower. You're gonna feel so drained, so tired. It's not a way to live. And also socially, how do you expect to enjoy your life, go out for lunch, dinner, breakfast with your friends, with your partner, with your loved ones, if you are constantly eating a calorie deficit and you're only allowing yourself to eat very, very tiny portions? Again, it doesn't work long term. It's not sustainable. It's not healthy mentally, physically, emotionally as well. And it only leaves you in a state where it's easier to start binging because you're so hungry. When you're hungry, you don't think, you just want to eat. You binge, you eat non-stop, you feel full, you feel bloated, you feel disgusted, you feel guilty. And that guilt is the thing that keeps you stuck in that cycle. And you keep doing that again and again and again and again. And then you start wondering, same as fasting, what's wrong with me? Why is my body not changing? I'm depriving myself, but absolutely nothing is working. You know, what else should I do? Maybe there's something wrong with my hormones. I hear this all the time. Maybe there's something wrong with my hormones. Maybe it's my genetics. Maybe it's just my body type. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your hormones, I promise. There's nothing wrong with your body type. The only thing that you're doing wrong is that you're depriving yourself, and I've done this for many years, you're depriving yourself from food. And if you're depriving, it's easier to get stuck and not lose body fat rather than losing body fat. So just a quick recap of the 3 worst diets I've ever tried, and I really don't recommend that you guys try any of this. And I want you to comment down below if you have tried any of the diets that I just mentioned, and tell me your experience about them. I really want to hear from you guys. So keto, removing carbohydrates from your diet, only eating protein and fats. It doesn't work long term. It's not sustainable. It only leaves you grumpy, hungry, and deprived. Second one, fasting. Also, you only eat, well, you remove calories, reduce calories, only eat in a very short window, and it only leads to deprivation, hungry, tired, that cycle of binging, feeling guilty, and it's horrible. And last but not least, an extreme calorie deficit, which again, it leaves you hungry, grumpy, annoyed. It's not sustainable long term, and it doesn't let you enjoy and live your life. So as you can see, the main things that I mentioned from the 3 worst diets that I've tried is that they leave you hungry, they leave you deprived, they don't let you enjoy your life, and they're just not sustainable long term. The key to a successful fat loss journey, and the key to help you maintain those results long term and make it sustainable, it's finding something that you enjoy and finding something that doesn't remove food or doesn't make you restrict yourself from eating the foods that you love. Restriction is never the answer. Depriving yourself, it's never the answer. Extremes, it's also never the answer. The answer is just finding that thing that works for you, making it work around your lifestyle, and staying consistent with whatever it is that you're doing. Because the exact same way that got you those results, or that help you get the results, which is losing body fat, is the exact same thing that you have to do forever if you want to maintain those results and if you want to sustain those results for a very long time. Now, I hope this was helpful for you guys and you have a better understanding about these diets, why they do work short term and why they don't work long term. Remember, comment down below which of these diets have you tried, your experience. Just tell me a little bit more about your experience, if you like them, if you didn't. Remember that deprivation, it's never the answer. If you enjoyed this video, please share this on your social media or share it with a friend that has tried plenty of diets and she's stuck and she doesn't know what else to do. Comment down below and don't forget to like, subscribe. Until next time. And as I always say, don't ever stop believing in yourself. Ciao, ciao.